Hey guys, let me show you a couple things that just happened this morning that are kind of interesting. This tank right here lasted from October 15th to April 1st, running the cooktop. So using this several times a day, making coffee every morning, making meals almost every day and night. So yeah, it's I took the one that, because obviously we don't need the heat right now, and I just replaced it so that one's almost full. And while I was down there, this is where I keep my little Honda generator, and I try to start this about, well, at least once a month. I probably should do more, but yeah, I'm letting it run for a while just to kind of, it's just good for it. Anything with a small carburetor on it, it's good to run it once in a while. Okay guys and gals, we are going to leave the little South Pacific Atoll Island off of Sebastian over there and continue north on the Great Loop. Stay tuned. Ooh, the tide must have come in. We're over 4 feet. I told you I loved you today. You can see this is actually a great spot because it's just barely off of the ICW here. So just pop right back out on it and keep heading north. The ICW sometimes just feels like a freeway. And all different speeds. Some people going slow, some people going fast. Another beautiful trawler passing us. I don't know what that is. I'll bet you it's 300 grand, whatever it is. We are heading right over there today. It's about 5 o'clock. It's usually when I start looking for a place to stop. And since the wind's coming from the south, we're getting on the north side. We're gonna get in there. I see a few boats anchored up in there. There's also a couple of anchor emblems, whatever you call them, in avionics, saying that this is a decent anchorage. So let's go give it a shot. There's also a Publix nearby and a gas station. I have found it smart to kind of look around for a minute before you drop anchor, because there's better places than others, and half the time I end up pulling the anchor up and moving. And pulling up the anchor is not always easy, so but this does look like a good place to anchor. I hope there's a place to leave your dinghy. That seems to be the trick down here in Florida. It's not so much finding anchorages, it's finding ways to get to shore without trespassing or pissing people off. Okay, we're anchored, and I see a guy rowing over here. If he comes close by, I'm going to ask him how he's going to shore, and sometimes that's a good way to find out. Okay, this guy. I wish I could have filmed it. It would have been awesome. He's from like Belize, I think, and he just told me this is not a good place to anchor. He told me why. I actually believe him. He also told me a better place to anchor, and then also a place to pull in with the dinghy, and so awesome. That was cool. I read there's a lot of dolphins in here, and sure enough, oh, right there. Look at that. Let's see if they surface back up. I'm seeing a lot of dolphin fins coming up. Guys, we'll try to get some of that. The guy has the coolest little dinghy too, made of wood. Okay guys, let me show you what we came up with. We moved up the Banana River, I think is what this is. And there's a low bridge right there. We actually probably could get underneath it, I think. But we didn't. We just dropped anchor right here. And I was told by that fella from Belize on the boat I just showed you, either this channel or there's another channel right there. And you go up and around the corner and there's a place to leave the dinghy. So we're going to go do a little exploring. When I say we, I mean you. We're going to jump in the dinghy. We're going to putt around, take some extra gas even. Go check out the area. It's Easter Sunday right now. Meaning there's probably not much open, but that's okay because we have everything we need. So let's go look around. Stay tuned. I don't know if it's that canal. Let's try that one first. Okay guys, so those that think I'm overreacting and, you know, making a big deal of nothing, those signs right there say mooring of boats prohibited. This is a county park. You can see it's got, I guess these are kayak launches. There's a nice park right there, easy access to town. But I mean, you know, what does boats mean? Are we gonna get technical here? Is a dinghy a boat? Probably. But we're gonna go anyway, so see how this goes. Some pieces of the puzzle are starting to come together for me lately on this trip. So we have this elaborate park here. Look at this. There's a gas station right there. I gotta wonder if they're kind of in cahoots with the marinas. Like, they can get gas, you know, $2 a gallon cheaper, but not if they can't come to shore. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna get back in the boat and go look around some more, even though Wavey would love to go for a walk right now. But I don't feel like getting a stupid ticket for something this petty. It almost happened in Crystal River. It maybe by the time you're watching this, you'll have seen that. So just dumb, just creating problems. Instead of solving a problem, they just take away the solution, and then it creates a problem that I guess they can profit on. Seeing dolphins right here. Let's see if one pops up. They're so hard to catch. We're gonna go try that canal right over there. Nothing here. It just bottoms out at the top. What in the world is going on here? Good morning, guys and gals. We are in Indian Harbor Village? Indian Harbor something. I'll put it on the screen here for you. And let me turn the phone around. Wavey and I were just having some coffee this morning, and I was listening to some Wander Hussy. She's one of the channels I keep up on. I like her. She doesn't need any promotion though. She's doing just fine. So we are going to take the Portland Pudgy back up the canal to that kayak park, I guess you could call it. Back up this channel here. You probably have seen it by now. We went up there yesterday and scoped it out. It says we can't stop there, but I did look at the map more closely, and it looks like maybe we can go around the corner and kind of find a little stealth spot to get up to that gas station. So I just want to fill my cans here. So let's just see how it goes. I'll take you along. If that doesn't work, we'll figure something else out. Stay tuned. This area is loaded with dolphins. You can just take a moment and just kind of scan the water out here, and you'll see them. They breach all over the place. This must be a spot they really like. right, I'm going to take a chance here. I'm not seeing any signs in this 10 square feet. If we live in a world where signs are telling us what to do and you don't see any signs, then that means you can do it, right? You just don't care, do you, Beagle? Just while I'm tying up the dinghy to the back of the barge. What is that? Piece of wood floating by. I thought, and I'm kind of in clear water. I thought folks might be interested in what the bottom of the boat is looking like. So it's definitely getting some little barnacles. It's, you know, growing a green beard, but I'm not really too worried about it. The reason why is, you know, I'm not staying in marinas, so there's less electrolysis. We're in brackish water a lot. I know once we get up in the East Coast, I think it's going to get more salty, but you know, soon enough we'll be in the Hudson, and then we'll be in the Erie Canal, and then we'll be in the Great Lakes again, and then, you know, I'll clean her up really good, and I think that we will have survived without doing any, you know, serious damage to the hull. I didn't get it bottom painted, so, you know, but we'll find out. You know, stay tuned to the end of the trip. We still got a long ways to go, and we'll find out together. It always feels good to have a lot of gas on board. I'm not full. I have 2 more tanks I could fill, but I don't need to. But yeah, when you got a lot of food and a lot of fuel on board, it just makes you feel good, like you can just go for a while and be picky on where you're going to stop and go to shore. Okay, guys and gals, we are leaving Indian Beach Harbor. I'm going to try to show you what ideal conditions are like. So we have a very gentle, and of course, she comes out. I didn't say come out on the deck. Anyway, we got a breeze coming in from the south. It's pushing us along, and it's gentle. You can see these waves are just like, they're just rolling. We're just rolling with the waves, and as long as I don't walk around the boat too much, I don't even have to touch the steering wheel. We just go in a straight line. It's just so ideal, you know. When you're beaten into the wind, you're like just tied to the wheel. It's just, it's exhausting all day. But when it's coming from the back and it's gentle enough, it just kind of moves you along, and it increases the miles per hour by probably 1 mile an hour. We're doing about 5 at 2,000 RPMs right now. It's best I can tell. I don't have a tack, but I have a good ear for it. So yes, ideal conditions on the ICW. I'm going to also point out how today is Monday, and probably the footage you've seen up to this morning was the weekend and how busy it was. I really wasn't thinking too much about that. Someone did make a comment on Facebook about how when they did the loop, they used to find a nice place to hunker down on the weekends to kind of stay away from the traffic. And now I think I'm understanding why. Because out here today on Monday, there's nobody out here. We got the place completely to ourselves. I keep looking back behind me like, are we in like a restricted zone or something? It's just, everyone's back to work except for us. Every time I start talking to the camera doesn't mean you need to come out on the deck. put some gas in the main tank, and I look back here and we're being passed by a sailboat. You know you're going slow when a sailboat passes you. The Compass Rose. Looks like they're liveaboards. Probably gone a lot of places. Nashua, New Hampshire. So I'm looking ahead here to when I make this video eventually, and I've kind of gotten that mode where I'm like, you know, what's going to be exciting? What's going to be worth seeing, you know, when I finally get around to this footage? We're getting passed again by another Canadian flag, so I'm guessing they're heading to Canada. We're heading north, so yep, another nice boat. When I see obvious long haul boaters, it makes me feel like I'm not running behind, because I know there are loopers that are ahead of us. They're already in the Carolinas and such, but I mean, I think we're right in that sweet spot. We're like going just the right speed. We got just enough time. I'm kind of thinking we'll be on the Erie Canal like June 1st, 2 months from now. We'll see. Maybe a little sooner. I don't know. I don't know. This is all uncharted territory for us, so exciting. Looks like they're doing some work on this bridge. Got one there. Crane there. And a crane there. We are coming into Titusville. I do believe it's right over there. And I kind of have my sights set on a couple of spoil islands. You can see them on the other side of the bridge over there. We're going to go check them out. I think there's enough depth around them. So if not, we got another spot we're going to head for. Stay tuned. Okay guys, so we made it to Titusville today, and we just anchored out in a mooring field. I've heard that to tie up to a mooring ball is like $20 a night, but we just used our own anchor and kind of stayed on the outside of the mooring field. So, and who would I pay anyways? I'm not going to worry about it unless someone comes out there in a boat and tells me I got to pay them. So yeah, we're going to walk around here. I have been to Titusville before, but you know, I didn't really see much of it. So let's walk around here a little bit. It's got this beautiful park with all this well-watered grass and stuff. Wavey's gonna love it. We're gonna get a couple miles in. We're gonna look around. So let's see if we can find something interesting to show you. So stay tuned. I absolutely love this boat right here. Kind of having a hard time seeing it through the fence there, but you guys get the idea. I don't know what that is. I guess it's a motor sailor, I guess, but it's got a full cabin. Really cool boat. Wavey gravy. Good morning, guys and gals. So we've been in Titusville for a couple days, Titusville, Florida, and I haven't been filming much. I've been focusing on editing and catching up with videos. So I won't have too much to show you about Titusville, just little snippets here and there. But before we leave today, there's a spoil island over here. I want to show you the backside of it, which is going to be out of the wind, and it has this great little beach. We're going to stop there and take a bath and just you know, relax for a few minutes before we get back on the ICW here. So let me show you. It's a beautiful spot. If you come through here, I totally recommend it. You can see you got to have a shallow draft boat to come back here, though. I feel like I need to mention that. Still in 2.5 feet of water or so. Still recommend kicking up your motor, surface drive it, whatever that term is, that's what I call it. I'm going to kill it here in a second. We're just going to glide in. Oh, Wavey gets so excited. There you go. You know where we are, huh? Be careful of stuff like this when you're walking around barefoot. It's starting to rain. They did say some weather's coming in today, but it's all following seas. It's actually just pushing us along. This should show you how windy it is today. There's some trees there. First modern day shipwreck on this leg of the journey. That's a sad one with the sail still up. Wavey and I just made a random stop out here in the wilderness. I'm going to turn the phone around and show you a really beautiful spot that you can really only get to if you have a shanty boat or something that drafts very little. Now guys, I'm just going to get this over with. If you're going to explore places like this, water shoes are a must. I just had to pull the shanty boat in this water here, and protects your feet. Link below, high seas. They're nice enough to give me a couple of pair of really nice pair of boots and these water shoes here, and if you're going to buy some, you might as well buy them from here because you get a discount code. So, okay, enough of that. Letting Wavey do her thing. I saw you digging over there. Are you allowed to dig? I will show you on the map where we're at. We're on the Space Coast. We're, I would say, parallel with Mims, Florida, to the east. On the ICW, the ICW is just, you can probably see the signage right out there. And it stays pretty deep, 4 feet or so, up until when you start seeing that discoloration, and it comes up to about 2.5 feet. I just kicked up the motor and then finally just said, well, I can just walk this. So I just walked the barge into this no-name little beach here. Oh, beautiful. This is one of the most wild, kind of undeveloped, untouched parts of Florida that I've ever come across. It's, I'll show you on a map when I make this video, of course. But it's kind of north of Titusville, south of Ponce Inlet. Basically that stretch, this stretch here, just goes through some really wild places. It must be protected or something, because I can't imagine why it wouldn't have been developed by now. It's just it's so beautiful, This little beach that we stopped at here has a kind of a backside. I guess you'd call this like a lake, or I don't know when I'm going to get screamed at. I'm daring to go walking without her. What a beautiful place. You could just come out here and you could just hang out here for weeks. Probably never even begin to get bored, getting over it. Good girl.